Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahabushai, Bahasham, Barakahakwadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahabushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the Brother Ra'aya with another video, and in this video, I'll be profiling an article from Newsweek.com titled Civil War Warning Issued by MAGA After Donald Trump Guilty Verdict. And we know, according to the scriptures, that there will be a second civil war in the United States of America. And this whole situation that just happened with Donald Trump is just another stepping stone towards these Americans, chiefly these Edomites or so-called white people, going at each other. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And this isn't talking about ancient Egypt, Mizraim, who were Hamites or so-called Africans. It's talking about the modern day spiritual Egypt as pursuant to Revelation 11, verse 8. The United States of America, chiefly these American Edomites going against each other. But also you're going to have it be a free-for-all in the United States of America with these different nations, calling themselves Americans, and these migrants that are coming into this country, a lot of them being UN troops fighting each other. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight, everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. And what does that sound like? Civil unrest, a civil war. And if you just look at the landscape of America now, damn near every level people can be divided on, they're divided on. With politics, as we're about to go into with that article, religion, gender, generational divides, class divides, etc., etc. And we are quickly reaching the boiling point, where that pot's going to boil over and there's going to be blood in the streets. People are at the edge. This economy is declining. Prices are going up with inflation. We're on the verge of world war, pestilences, food shortages, you name it. And throw politics in the mix, and that's a perfect recipe for disaster, because, a lot of this stuff is political theater. It doesn't matter who you vote for, because it's ultimately the elites, such as the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers, that select who the next president's going to be. But to the average person, they put their whole stake in the party that they are registered for. So if their candidate doesn't win, especially during these elections coming up, because you've got people on both sides saying that whoever wins this election, that's going to decide the fate of America. When things don't play out how they want them to play out, it's going to be different than any of these previous presidential elections. And that's even if we get to the presidential elections in November, because things have been heating up, from the start of 2024 all the way up until now. And Apostle Tahar has deemed 2024 to be the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. But regardless of everything, these Egyptians will go against each other, brother against brother, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. Make America great again. MAGA activists have warned there could be civil war in response to Donald Trump's guilty verdict in his hush money trial on Thursday. Trump supporters have reacted with anger after the former president was found guilty on all 34 charges of falsifying business records, over $130,000 worth of payments to former adult film star Stormy Daniels to keep an alleged affair between them secret ahead of the 2016 election. Trump denies any wrongdoing and claims the case is politically motivated. And if you look at the mainstream news right now, On the right side with Fox News, they're making an uproar. On the left side with what? What? CNN, MSNBC. Hey, both sides are either condemning or cheering for the results of this verdict. And what's it doing? Just further riling up the average person that believes in this two-party system, feeling that they either got a victory or they got wronged, and that the political system it doesn't work in favor of the people anymore. It's rigged, which it's always been rigged. Writing on X, formerly Twitter, political commentator Joey Manorino wrote, "The Civil War just began. We no longer live in a democracy." In another post, he added, "As of today, with this fake guilty verdict against Trump, America is no longer the United States." Hey, you've got people on the right losing faith in the political system. And eventually it's going to lead to them, going against it and going against these politicians, which is also a part of biblical prophecy. This is 2 Esdras chapter 15. I'm going to start at verse 14. "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." And woe means destruction, because Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is about to bring a great destruction, great judgment on the people of this planet, especially in the United States of America, for all the wickedness they've been committing. "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another." And that one people standing up and fighting against another can go into race wars, which there are going to be racial skirmishes during Jacob's trouble. What does it say in Matthew 24? Nations rising against nation. Political warfare with conservatives going against liberals, class warfare with the rich versus the poor, etc., etc. One people shall stand up and fight, not talk to each other, fight against another, and swords in their hands. And the modern day sword, especially in the United States of America, is that gun. Verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men." And the definition for sedition means conduct or speech inciting open rebellion against a ruling authority or monarch. And what did that guy just say on Twitter? Writing on X, formerly Twitter, political commentator Joey Manorino wrote, "The Civil War just began. We no longer live in a democracy." In another post, he added, "As of today, with this fake guilty verdict against Trump, America is no longer the United States." People no longer believing in the judicial, American law system, having seditious talk towards it, saying it no longer works for us. And what? The Civil War just began. "For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another," and not just talking, but actually, action. "They shall not regard their kings nor princes." And your modern day kings and princes are these people in the government, these politicians, the mayor, the governor, the senators, the president, as well as the authorities that uphold the system, like the police or the military. It's going to get to a point to where people on both sides of the aisle, not just these conservatives that are mad about Trump's verdict, but hey, liberals as well, are no longer going to regard what the authorities have to say, and as it's about to say, "In the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Every man, every woman, every person is going to do what they think is for the best for them when Jacob's trouble really pops off. And, like I said earlier, we're in the perfect storm for these people to go at each other, with these political divides, with the economic situation, etc., etc. We are a third world shithole heading for a civil war. Tim Pool, a conservative commentator with over 2 million followers, wrote, "War." Newsweek, blah, blah, blah. We'll skip that. Amid escalating tensions between Republicans and Democrats, Egyptians rising against Egyptians, one people shall stand up and fight against another. Trump supporters have repeatedly suggested that if he doesn't win the 2024 election, there will be a civil war, a seditious talk going against the ruling authority, the monarch, the government. Some Trump supporters have also shown a propensity for violence in the past, most notably when the U.S. Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021, to protest the results of the 2020 election. And, while you did have some sincere, people there, when you really examine that situation, there was more at play than just what was at surface value. I'll just leave it at that. Speaking to Newsweek, Todd Landman, a professor of political science at the School of Politics and International Relations at the University of Nottingham in the UK, said there could be a backlash to the verdict that involves violence. The verdict was quite a lightning bolt last night, he said. For many, it was a vindication and a demonstration of accountability. For others, it was an example of political persecution spearheaded by the Democrats. That's it with this article. You get the point. But as we can see, that seditious, divisive spirit is in the air amongst these Americans. And eventually it's going to get to the point to where these people are going to stop talking and they're going to start, walking. They're going to start throwing lead at each other, or using anything they can to, fight for what they believe in, to get their grievances out of the way. And a lot of that anger is going to be forced towards you kings and you princes, you people in the government, because these people are slowly, realizing that you never had their best interest at heart. And they're seeing that this political system of theirs has been rigged. But I'm going to close it out in 2 Esdras chapter 13, verse 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one people against another, brother against brother, city against city, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, through race, through politics, through class warfare, and one realm against another. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Hey, just keep strong. We are almost out of this wicked, final captivity under the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites, primarily from spiritual Egypt, the United States of America. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharallah, and until next time, Shalom.